It's way past time I dispense some indiscriminate justice!
G'day guys, Duckville here. We're going to have Game 2 between Destiny and DarkCell from MLG Columbus, of course. These games are still going on as I cast, so do keep in mind, of course, that these are some of the ones from day 1, sort of day 1 and 2 open bracket. And this, of course, will be taking place on MLG Metalopolis. Now, this does mean that there are no close ground spots, and look at these guys actually going to head across with their overlords, spotting that each other are going to be in the close air spots, sort of semi-close ground spots, but either way, what this means is that these guys will probably go for an early expansion first up. Now, Game 1, we obviously saw that there were some really good roach battles between these two guys. We did see some infestors all over the place. We saw infested Terrans. We did not see too much other than that, but either way, it was just fantastic control by Destiny that actually allowed him to sort of control the map, and moreover, I think that was more to do with his being very safe with the way that he played. He sort of kept his roaches in decent positions, had a lot of spine crawlers as well to make sure he was defended quite adequately, along with some spore crawlers for some burrowed roach defense, and just sort of kept the game going nicely that way. So we do see, and as we can see from Destiny's point of view, sees that that gas has gone up pretty quickly there again from DarkCell, so he's probably going to grab those early sort of Ling speed as well. And the same sort of play looks to be coming from Destiny, so it looks as if we're going to stick with the sort of one base play for the moment here. Generally, I sort of mentioned that you can do the hatch first because, of course, with that sort of longer ground distance, of course, given that you do sort of go up here and then all the way across, it is a little bit easier to hold a hatch first. But looks as if most of these guys are actually happy to go for sort of Lings at the moment here. Perhaps we'll see that early spine crawler again from Destiny, and what he was doing, of course, is moving that spine crawler down to the natural once the natural was prepared and up and running. And now we can see here the spawning pool just about done there. It's going to pop up, and then a queen is going to be ready to run out as soon as she can here. There it goes, the queen up and running here. Both of these guys are going to need to get that quick overlord out. There's one from Destiny, and there's the one from DarkCell. So DarkCell's going to be just a tiny bit in the lead there, but it's not going to mean too much, of course. But either way, as you can see there, the drones, sorry, I was totally forgetting what their name was. The drones were removed from the gas once he had 100 gas. In fact, he had 108. And then, whoa, he was actually going, okay, he went for the roach, the Ling speed, and then cancelled it. That's actually quite interesting. I've never seen anyone do that before, but obviously that means that he can get his natural expansion up a lot quicker. And now, as we can see here from Destiny, is doing this signature spine crawler plus the roach Warren up in the corner there, blocking any entry here, apart from this little bit here. But essentially, these any Lings won't be able to run too far by this part here. Now, this, as we can see, Destiny is going to respond to the quick hatch there from DarkCell by grabbing his own one. Now, do keep in mind that Destiny is not too worried about any sorts of Ling pressure at the moment. With that spine crawler and the queen, he can adequately defend against any sorts of early sorts of pressure. And in fact, an overlord, did that go down? No, it didn't. It got away. But it looks as if a couple of Lings have actually gotten inside for Destiny here, spotting that hatchery. If they hadn't seen it before, they're definitely sure of it now, and they are going to have a little bit of a battle here, attempting to micro away, actually killing off one Ling each. And now this one from Destiny is going to try and run away. This guy is sitting here on 4 HP, being chased by this other one with full HP. So this is going to be an interesting, amazing race. We'll probably see they'll just run around the whole map for the rest of eternity. Meanwhile, the Ling speed is just about done for DarkCell. He's going to have that up and running in a minute. Destiny has not even started his for the moment, but what he has done is grabbed a few roaches. So he is sticking with this sort of play where he gets a few roaches at the start. He's got these 5 to defend. They will be able to block off that ramp, not to mention protect that natural expansion, which is just about to pop. There you go. And now we'll probably see a few drones transfer over, maybe, along with that spine crawler. So now the spine crawler waddling its way down there. It is so slow. It looks a little bit interesting if you look at it from that direction. But Ling's coming along here, going to be deflected easily by those roaches, and it looks as if the spine crawler is going to hang out on the ramp to sort of block the ramp, perhaps. Not actually sure if you can hold position on the spine crawlers. Not actually sure why I was wondering that, but either way, you can. And have a look. See here, we've got a Overlord just popping through and checking out what's going on. Sees that the Evo chamber was wobbling a little bit, and in fact, we're actually going to lose a second Overlord here for Destiny. That is not going to be cool. He's going to be quite annoyed at that, but what he's going to do is try and gain whatever information he can. Sees that the Roach Warren is there. It is not really moving or anything, so there's no upgrades just as of yet, and we will see what he's going to do about that now that he's actually, well, he was supply block, but he's popped out a couple of Overlords in anticipation of the second Overlord going down, and he's just trying to recoup his position here. He is just a couple... No, he's not. He's 2 supply in the lead at the moment. Obviously, he's got a few Roaches out, and that pretty much accounts for that. But as we can see, on the economy, we do actually have Darkcell just a bit in front because he's got a little bit more saturation here at the expansion. He's got a few more drones up and running, and that means that he's going to be able to sort of get that mineral count just a bit ahead and make sure he can sort of get a decent amount of units out shortly. But for the moment, Destiny just droning up a little bit. He's got to be very careful with his droning for the moment here. Of course, now that Darkcell has actually got his economy up ahead of Destiny, he's going to be really careful about when he drones up and when he goes for the units, because of course in when you're playing as a Zerg, that is a big component of how you play, is when to drone and when to build units, because of course if you drone at the wrong time and you don't have enough forces, as we can see here, Destiny's got a sizable amount of Roaches, but if you drone at the wrong time, you can actually be in quite a bit of trouble. Now we do see that a lair has been started along with 3 extra extractors, that's pretty cool. So he's going to be getting out the gas in a moment, getting a second queen here at the expansion. In fact, yeah, that actually is a second queen in general, because didn't actually get another queen at all at the natural for quite a while. Was busy sort of getting the drone count up and getting the roaches up. So we'll see what Destiny is going to do. Meanwhile, over here, look at this vision for Darkcell. He's got nice vision across the whole map there with those Overlords all over the place. Meanwhile, getting his own second and third gas up and running along with the fourth in the main. So he's going to be well prepared in terms of economy. And as we have a look on the production tab, we do see that the glial reconstitution is on the way for the Roaches. Is going to give them the movement speed, of course, if you don't know what that crazy fancy word is. And the +2 to weapons is probably going to be the next thing on the menu for Darkcell, along with injecting some lava, I would hope. There it is, bam. So we'll see. I'm not really sure what these guys, again, this is a very, very passive sort of game here. And Overseer just popping through here, may want to put it, Contaminate down if he has the energy. No, he doesn't. Did he put it up here? No, he didn't. So, just sort of scouting out what's going on. That Overseer is extremely lucky to be alive still. But he's done a good job of getting some scouting information done. There's going to be an infestation pit. There it is. It's going to be put up there and probably grab the pathogen glands as soon as possible, now that he's starting to build up a bit of gas. As we can see, Destiny up to around about 200 gas at the moment here. It's getting close to 300, so he's probably saving up a bit, and he'll grab that that extra add-on there for the infestors when they're ready to roll. And as we can see here, a couple of spine crawlers going up, just making sure, as we saw in game number 1, just being very safe with the way he's playing there, making sure that he's not going to get attacked and sort of having any problems with roaches busting in. Now we do see Spore Crawler going up there for Darkcell. He's going to be well prepared for any sorts of roaches or anything that may burrow underground. Meanwhile, speaking of problems in the air, we do actually have a Overseer just popping through here, just saying hello. What's up, guys? Just you know, running through here, checking out what's going on. Puts down a Contaminate on top of that hatchery. Always a bit of trouble there. What that does, of course, if you're not aware of what that is, because pretty much no one uses it really, is that it actually stops anything that's working inside the building. Of course, we do have the ventral sacs on the way here from Darkcell, so that's paused for the moment. And for Zerg, it actually stops lava coming out of the hatchery. Now it's finally broken away, and there comes some of the lava that should have been there earlier. So it's actually really powerful. I would really love to see more Zergs doing it in Zerg versus Zerg, because it really helps with getting ahead in the count of your units. Now we do see Destiny deciding that he's going to be a little bit careful of what's going to happen here inside the main, putting down 3 spine crawlers, being well prepared for any sorts of drops that may occur, or perhaps a Nidus Worm. Does he see a Nidus Worm? No, he doesn't. There's no Nidus Canal being built as of yet, but you never know. I have actually seen Darkcell use the Nidus Worm in this sort of battle, and it was really cool. It's actually against his teammate Shuffle, which was pretty cool. So hopefully, maybe we'll see something like that again. But Destiny, as I mentioned, being very safe with his base here. We've got 5 spine crawlers in total, a spore crawler for detection, and 2 spine crawlers inside the main with another spore crawler there as well. But still waiting to see what's going to happen here, and it looks as if Darkcell is the one who's taking the initiative for the moment, taking that 3rd base, so he's going to be well on his way to getting that up and running. And meanwhile, to cover that base getting up, we can see what he's going to do here. He's going to come in for the attacks, once again being really well prepared with upgrades here. He's actually up to +2, but hello, Infestors from the top, taking out a lot of these roaches. Z's are probably actually going to die because there are so many Infestors sitting up the top there, actually getting that done, and beautifully done there by Destiny, taking out a lot of those roaches that were sitting there, and a couple of these guys are on very low health. This one on 16 health, wanting to run away before it gets sniped off by any other roaches. Now, these Infestors, once again, as we mentioned there, did a great job of putting down that fungal growth and taking out a lot of those roaches. Now, splitting up a few of his units here. Not sure what these Infestors were doing at the front, but they did get a quick fungal growth off, and they did get that done. But it's losing a couple of those Infestors is not a good way to get the game going. But Destiny is deciding that he's going to need to keep up on the bases, of course, making sure that he's getting his own 3rd up down at the southeastern position there, and Darkcell has now got his up and running. Probably a few drones transferring across. There they are. We got even more actually coming from the main, given that the main is almost mined out, as we can see here, and we still don't have any extra upgrades coming from Darkcell just yet. I'm a little bit surprised about that, but now, as we can see, Darkcell deciding to push across the map. It looks as if he's coming through the middle here, not actually worrying about that gold expansion for the moment, but it looks as if he's going to come down to the to that southeasterly position I mentioned. But he does not have superior numbers here at the moment, and I don't think his upgrades just yet will really help out in that regard, along with those Infestors that were coming up the back. But have a look at this. We got a drop with some roaches that came in the back here. They did get some kills done there. We do have a couple of kills on these guys. We got 1, 2, and then probably another one on that 3rd one. But it looks as if that was a nice attack there by Darkcell, just actually getting inside and dropping some roaches on top of Destiny's base, keeping him occupied. Meanwhile, down here at the 3rd, he's actually going to take out this hatchery, perhaps. It depends if these units get inside. No, there's definitely going to be no trouble about that. So those Lings, whilst doing a valiant effort of getting inside and trying to take out that hatchery, they were not quick enough. Now, Darkcell is still trying to pressure here. It looks as if he's going to be very careful. A drop coming in again here from Darkcell, coming in through the top, and he's going to drop right on top of these the hatchery here. The lair is still pumping out some units, getting a burrow almost done there for those, and it looks as if the gold is definitely going to go down, along with this 3rd. Actually does get sniped off, but those roaches did not get too much done, and it looks as if they may actually die because they jump back inside the Overlord, and the fungal growth goes down, and now finally dropping them out before the Overlords die, but they are not going to last too long, and they die anyway. Take a couple of kills with them, but losing those Overlords and the roaches, in fact, putting Darkcell in the red for his supply. As we can see there, just 1 supply out, but a couple of Overlords have popped out to get that position back. Meanwhile, down here at the natural, we've got fungals going off everywhere yet again. These guys doing a massive job with their battles there. It looks as if Darkcell is going to retreat for the moment, but it looks as if now Destiny, in fact, is going to be the one who's pushing finally, coming out of that passive state he was in before. It looks as if he's going to try and push. Meanwhile, he may actually just try and sacrifice this and turn this into a base race. He's actually going to lose his natural. No worries about that. That is definitely going down. A hatchery going down at the gold, but he's going to try and actually get inside. Looks as if there's way too much here for Destiny to deal with. There are too many roaches, too many Infestors up here at this side as well, along with everything inside his base. He is going to take out a couple of these roaches in the process, but there was just way too much. He's lost that natural, has no 3rd, and there's no chance this gold is going to stay up too long. But if he can, he may certainly be in a good position. But I just don't see that staying up too long, given how many roaches are on the map and how many Infestors are running around as well. Now, both of these guys do have burrow, so they can burrow those roaches and get their health back pretty quickly, as we can probably see. No, he isn't actually doing it yet. I'm not really sure why Destiny is just leaving them there, but he can burrow those to get their health back. But it looks as if now we do have another attack coming in here from Darkcell. He's going to decide to push through this side. He does have a little bit of a creep highway coming down here. Well, just a small patch of highway that's not fully paved out yet, but He's just sort of sitting here, just keeping the pressure on. Destiny doesn't want him to sit tight and just, you know, think he's going to get this gold up easily, but now the gold is just about done. The attack finally coming in, a beautiful fungal going down there from Destiny, counter fungals from Darkcell, and there are just fungals everywhere. Someone get the cleaning product because there is fungus everywhere. Infested Terrans coming out now. It looks as if Destiny is not going to have the advantage here. He's actually losing out with all of these roaches. Low health plus he's actually down on the upgrades, of course. There is an Overseer up here. I'm not sure why that's not coming up, but those roaches have burrowed. They've had enough of that battle. They're going to recoup some of their health. Unburrowing now to take out some of these, but as I said before, this is a bit of an interesting battle because Destiny is not in the same upgrade level as he... oh, yes, he is now, actually, but... it looks as if there is way too much for Destiny to contend with here. He's down on hatches. He's, of course, only on these two hatches, the one at the goal, the one in the main. He's getting a natural up and running, but that's not going to go too far. Meanwhile, another attack occurring down here for Darkcell. He's burrowing quite nicely. Beautiful micro there to burrow those roaches, getting their health back. Destiny not too worried about that for the moment. He perhaps want to leave, given that he's way behind on the actual roach count in this particular battle, but that is now done. Destiny's doing his best, puts down a fungal on top of these guys, actually pulls them out of the ground, and now is finally going to lose some of those units, and Infesta deciding to burrow down there. We still don't actually have any sorts of harassment going on at Darkcell's side of the map, and I think this is probably going to be it in a moment here because Destiny, as we said, was behind on the hatches. He's now even for the moment. Actually, no, he's not. There's a macro hatch in the main of Darkcell, so he's definitely behind a hatchery, which means he's behind in production. Roach is now getting inside. These two Infestors are now sniped. The spine crawlers finally do pop out of the ground there. They are not going to get too far though. And Destiny GG's. So brilliant play there by Darkcell. Just slightly, I think, getting ahead in the economy and taking, whilst he did lose a couple of roaches in some of the battles to unfortunate positions, such as those infestors that sat up here on the hill just laughing at those roaches on the low ground. He did some brilliant attacks that gave him a bit of an edge, and then just sort of took that and went running with it and took out a really good game there between these two players. So we'll go on to a third game here between Destiny and Darkcell. Cheers.